Recruiters offer replacement guarantees on their placements to give their clients the peace of mind that if a candidate resigns or is terminated within a certain period of time, the recruiter will replace that same level of candidate at no charge. While good hiring managers and recruiters do their best to set correct expectations during the hiring process, concerns sometimes surface after the employee starts, but when approached correctly, can be addressed effectively early on, usually avoiding a costly turnover experience. Offering replacement guarantees is the right thing to do for the recruiter. So the question is usually not if the recruiter should offer a guarantee, but how long the guarantee period should be. The answer to that question depends on a few factors, like what is the industry standard most other recruiters are going to offer for that particular functional role? Is the functional role in a high turnover industry like mortgage sales positions, for example, which have the highest turnover in any sales role in any industry? So the risk is higher to work on that position. Is the position for an employee with someone supervising their work on a regular basis? Or is it an executive level placement, for example, where the candidate might need a few months working on strategy and executing on it before it's really fair to make a final decision? On high turnover positions, many recruiters do not offer any guarantees at all, or maybe 2 to 4 weeks only. It's really about how much risk the recruiter wants to take on. You will find that there is a standard industry average for each functional role out there. On positions that traditionally have low turnover, most recruiters will offer anywhere from 30 to 90 days. On executive level positions, you might get a longer guarantee because executives are typically not as closely and regularly supervised as a rank and file employee. In either case, it is generally accepted that there is a point where the company has had a reasonable amount of time to evaluate the candidate. And if the company loses the new employee after that, it's because the hiring manager took too long to terminate them, or the employee quits after getting to know the company and the hiring manager better, and they themselves initiate the separation. In either case, this should be obvious, whether or not the candidate is the right long-term fit within 30, maybe 60 days at most. Beyond that, it isn't reasonable to hold the recruiter accountable. However, I like to give my clients an extra 30 days, bringing it up to 60 or 90 days total, and that gives the client the extra grace period they might need. At the end of the day, neither the recruiter or the company wants to see any turnover among their employees. And good recruiters first do their best to make high-quality, long-term placements for their clients, but also back up their process with a generous guarantee.